I'm going to tell you something that sounds crazy. Everyone online is lying to you about how to get rich. They're selling you a secret, a hack, a system that, surprise, always costs $1,000. They want you to think building wealth is some high-stakes game only geniuses can play. They're wrong. When I look at how I built a $200,000 net worth, the truth is, it was the most boring thing I have ever done. In this video, I'm not showing you some insane spreadsheet. I'm not trying to sell you a crypto coin. I am literally just going to give you the 20 stupidly simple, boring rules that did everything for me. These aren't secrets, they're habits. And they work because they're consistent, not because they're exciting. Here's the main idea: financial success does not come from willpower. Willpower is useless. It's gone 5 seconds after you wake up. Real wealth comes from building a system that makes you rich automatically. This isn't about being cheap. This is about being smart. It's about automating the important stuff so you can spend your energy on what actually matters. So if you're tired of the get-rich-quick garbage and want a strategy that actually works, let's get into the rules. These first rules are all in your head. They have nothing to do with money. If you get these right, everything else becomes 10x easier. Rule number 1, give every single dollar a job. This is the most important rule. Before the month starts, you tell your money exactly where to go. You don't need a 50-category budget. Just use the 50/30/20 rule. 50% for needs, 30% for wants, 20% for savings. That's it. You have to be proactive. Most people get paid, spend money, and just hope they can save. That never works. You make the plan. You are the boss of your money. I literally just wrote on a notepad: rent, groceries, savings, fun. That was the first time I felt like I was in control. Rule number 2, define your rich life. If you don't know what you're saving for, you will quit. Getting wealthy is the most useless goal ever. You need to know what you want. Is it a house for your mom? Is it never having to work again? For me, it wasn't a Lamborghini. My rich life was freedom. Having a 6-month emergency fund so I wouldn't freak out if I lost my job. Having enough money invested so I could say no to projects I hated. I wasn't depriving myself by saving. I was buying my own freedom. That's a motivator that actually works. Rule number 3, the goalpost must not move. This is one of the hardest rules. Every time you get a raise, you want to immediately upgrade your life. Nicer apartment, new car, expensive food. This is called lifestyle inflation, and it will keep you broke forever. My rule was simple: get a raise and split it 50/50. Half could go to making my life a little better, but the other half went straight to savings and investments. Automatically, no exceptions. This keeps you from running on a treadmill where you're earning more money, but never actually getting richer. Rule number 4, stop trying to impress people. I'm just going to be real with you. A huge amount of your spending is to show other people you have money. That is the fastest way to have less money. When I was younger, I'd buy clothes I didn't even like or go to dinners I couldn't afford just so people thought I was cool. But here's the secret: no one cares. They are all thinking about themselves. Realizing that was the most freeing thing ever, and it saved me a crazy amount of money. Rule number 5, your savings rate is more important than your returns. Everyone obsesses over finding some stock that will go up 15% a year. But when you're starting, your savings rates matters so much more. If you have $10,000, the difference between a 7% return and a 10% return is only $300. You could make way more than that just by saving an extra $100 a month. Being an investment genius doesn't matter in the beginning. All that matters is saving more money. That was the engine that built everything. Rule number 6, pay yourself first, then forget it exists. This is the golden rule for a reason. Do not wait until the end of the month to save. You will lose that game every time. The second your paycheck hits your account, an automatic transfer should zap your savings and investments away. For me, it was 15% of my income every single time. The money was gone before I could even think about it. The money you don't see, you don't miss. It's that simple. Rule number 7, automate your investments into boring index funds. Just like savings, you have to automate your investing. I did not try to pick hot stocks. I don't have the time or skill, and you probably don't either. I set up an automatic monthly investment into one boring, low-cost index fund that tracks the whole stock market. That's it, no drama, no checking charts. It is the most boring investment strategy on earth, and that's why it works. It just goes up over time. Rule number 8, automate every single bill. Every bill that could be automated, I automated. Rent, utilities, internet, credit cards. This does two amazing things. 1, you never pay a late fee again, which is literally free money. But 2, it frees up your brain power. You only have so many good decisions in you each day. Don't waste them on paying your internet bill. Let a robot do it so you can focus on bigger things like making more money. Rule number 9, create secret sinking funds for big expenses. People go into debt for things they knew were coming. Car repairs, holidays, a new laptop, you know it's going to happen. So I created separate, secret money buckets. Every month, a tiny automatic transfer went into different accounts. $50 to car trouble, $75 to vacation, $40 to gifts. It seems like nothing, but when my car died, boom, $1,800 was sitting there waiting. It turned a crisis into a boring inconvenience. Rule number 10, your emergency fund is sacred. Your emergency fund is not an investment. It's not for a down payment. It is a firewall between you and total disaster. This money needs to be in a separate high-yield savings account that you never touch unless it's a real emergency like losing your job or a medical crisis. Keeping it separate is a mind trick. If it's mixed with your other money, you'll steal from it. Make it a sacred account and protect it. All right, we're halfway done. If these boring rules are starting to make sense to you, I'm challenging you to hit that like button right now. It tells YouTube that this no-nonsense advice is worth sharing. And if you want more strategies like this, subscribe so you don't miss out. Now, let's get back to the rules. Rule number 11, the 30-day rule for big purchases. This one rule has probably saved me more money than any other. For any non-essential purchase over $100, I forced myself to wait 30 days before buying it. I just write the item on a list. I guarantee you 90% of the time, after 30 days, I didn't even want it anymore. It's the ultimate defense against impulse buys that drain your money. Rule number 12, focus on the big three: housing, transportation, food. People spend hours trying to save 50 cents on toothpaste while living in an apartment that costs 50% of their income. You're focusing on the wrong thing. Almost all of your money is spent on 3 things: housing, transportation, and food. If you can keep these 3 cheap, you've basically already won. I kept my housing under 25% of my pay, I bought a used car with cash, and I cooked at home. Getting these big things right gives you so much freedom everywhere else. Rule number 13, stop being cheap, be smart. Being cheap is not the same as being smart. Cheap is buying the $40 shoes that fall apart in 6 months. Smart is buying the $120 shoes that last for 5 years. My rule is to think about the total cost, not the price tag. This applies to everything. A fuel-efficient car might cost more upfront but saves you thousands in gas. It's a big brain move that saves you money in the long run. Rule number 14, do a monthly subscription audit. Subscriptions are silent wealth killers. $10 a month feels like nothing, but when you have 12 of them, it's a car payment. My rule, one Sunday a month, I'd spend 15 minutes scanning my credit card statement for anything that charged me automatically. I was always shocked at what I found. A free trial that wasn't free anymore, a service I forgot about. This 15-minute habit can easily save you $50 to $100 a month. That's free money. Rule number 15, cash for fun, cards for tracking. This is a simple mind trick that works. I used my credit card for all my boring, budgeted expenses, gas, groceries, bills, because it tracks it all for me. But for my fun money, I would pull that amount out in cash at the start of the month. If my fun budget was $200, I had $200 in my wallet. When the cash was gone, it was gone. No swiping a card and lying to yourself. It makes it impossible to overspend. Rule number 16, make yourself impossible to replace. Let's be clear, the single most powerful wealth-building tool is your income. The best way to get more income is to become so good at what you do that your boss can't replace you. Always be learning, get new skills, become the best in your field. My main hustle was just getting better at my day job. This led to huge promotions and salary jumps that I used to fuel my savings machine. Investing in your skills is the ultimate hack. Rule number 17, use debt only for assets. This is a simple rule to keep you out of trouble. I would only go into debt for two things, a reasonable house and maybe education that directly makes me more money. I would never ever go into debt for something that goes down in value. No car loans, no financing a TV, no putting a vacation on a credit card. If I couldn't pay for it in full with cash, I couldn't afford it. Period. This rule alone will save you from the debt trap that crushes millions. Rule number 18, track your net worth, not your portfolio. Checking your stocks every day will drive you crazy. The market is insane. Daily swings are just noise. Instead, my rule was to track my net worth, your total assets minus your total liabilities, just once every 3 months. That is the real scoreboard. This gives you a big picture view and shows you if you're actually winning. It stops you from panic selling when the market crashes. It's the only number that matters. Rule number 19, review your insurance every year. Okay, this is probably the most boring rule on this entire list, but it's so important. Your ability to make money is your biggest asset. Insurance protects that asset. Once a year, spend 1 hour reviewing your policies. Do you have enough coverage? Can you get a better rate? One uncovered disaster can wipe out a decade of hard work. Don't let that happen to you. Rule number 20, let time do all the work. And finally, the most powerful and most boring rule of all, be patient. Building wealth is a slow grind. It happens with tiny, boring, repetitive steps. There will be years where it feels like you're going nowhere. This is where most people give up and chase some crazy scheme. But the magic is compounding over time. You have to trust the boring, automatic system you built and just let it work. So that's it, 20 rules that have zero glamour. No one's going to make a movie about a guy who automatically invested 15% of his paycheck and just waited. There's no excitement here. It's all incredibly, profoundly boring. But these rules work. They make saving effortless and spending smart. They take your flawed human brain, your impulsiveness, your need for instant gratification, and they take it out of the equation. The whole point of making your money boring is so your life can be exciting. It's about creating a life free from money stress. It's about having the freedom to say no to a job you hate and yes to an opportunity you love. Wealth built this way isn't about luxury, it's about freedom. So I have a challenge for you. What is the number one boring rule that has worked best for you? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single one and I'm always looking for new ideas. Thanks for watching.